Paris the Memoir. For the family I was born into, the family I made, and the family I found along the way. I love you all. So, prologue. Dr. Edward Hollowell, author of Driven to Destruction, says the ADHD brain is like a Ferrari with bicycle brakes. Powerful, but difficult to control. My ADHD makes me lose my phone, but it also makes me who I am. So I'm going to love my life. I have to love my ADHD. And I do love my life. It's June 2022, and I'm having one of the best weeks ever. My friend Christina Aguilera, my neighbor, invited me to be one of her top secret special guests at LA Pride. And as my crew moved my DJ equipment out the door, I was so nervous and excited I left the house without my shoes and showed up at a backstage trailer in a tank shirt, belly truck pants, and socks, which was even more embarrassing when I accidentally went into the wrong dressing room. Some backup dancers were in there getting dressed and screamed for joy when they saw me. So selfies obviously. I always try to do it myself, like hold the person's camera so it's angled down, which is important if you're tall, because it's so unflattering when the angle is up your nostrils, or the person's hands are shaking because they're made nervous and a bit shy, which I totally relate to. So I did that with loves it, sleeping, and other things. And then off I went in my socks, doing this thing. Uh, my husband Carter calls me. Doing this thing my husband Carter calls the unicorn trot. Not fully running, more graceful than galloping and less like skipping than dancing. I have a hard time going slow. So then I'm there at a parade with Christina and about 30,000 other people, all decked out in rainbows, sparkles, dancing, laughing, hugging, having the best time during my set, which came right after Kim Petras, who sang at our wedding last year this beautiful blood version of Stars Are Blind and then can't help falling in love as Carter and I walk down the aisle, which is why that song brought tears to my eyes last week at Britney Spears' wedding, when our gorgeous angel Princess Bride emerged after all those nightmare years and floated down the aisle in Versace. Because Versace, please. That iconic Elvis Presley song, which has been sung at millions of weddings in Vegas, where my grandfather Byron Hilton started the whole Vegas residency trend by having Elvis at the Las Vegas Hilton National back in 1969, paving the way for Britney and so many other groundbreaking performers to flourish in that format, a perfect example of how one person's creative vision sparks a cascade of genius that goes on into the future. Another perfect example, my grandfather, Conrad Hilton. Wait, where was I? Pride. This crowd, oh my god, energy, love, light, unbreakable spirit. I'm behind the board. It's like piloting a spaceship full of coolest people in the galaxy. My set is structured my set is structured around iconic music like Toxic, alongside a sick beatbreaker remix of Genie in a Bottle by Xtina, Queen of the Night, plus a lot of other dope originals and remixes, which I shall put up on the podcast on YouTube because this set is so much fun. Not to stop, make playlists for this book. I was so hyper focused on my set, not to self add ultra Nate to playlist. It didn't even hit me until I was halfway through that I had left my phone on the counter in the trailer where I took the selfies when the half-dressed backup dancers with the half-dressed backup dancers. Fuck. I'm trying not to say fuck all the time, but I want to wear it out because it's such a good word for so many occasions. Now, verb, description, fill in the blank. Fuck saves a day. So fuck because I feel naked without my phone and I'm super paranoid about someone getting hold of it and blasting the contents all over the internet, which has happened more than once, so thank God for Kate, best friend, guardian angel, who went and locked the stray phone after I killed my set. And then we all went to the after party Christina and I hosted at the Soho House downtown. Now I'm home with my loves, Camel Baby, Slivington Krita, Ether, and Harajuku Beach, the OG Chihuahua. Shout out to Harajuku Beach. She's 22 years old, multiply that by 7 dog years. She's literally 1054. She sleeps 23 hours a day and looks like Gizmo from Gremlins, but she's still here living her best life. And then one night I'll come home to find she's fallen asleep forever. I'm so scared of that night, and I hate the random intrusive thought. Intrusive thoughts are my nemesis, cutting through my joy even when I've been part of an epic event with people who lift me higher than high, and my husband is up in my bed, waiting patiently for me to take my bath and do my skincare routine, which he knows I never shortcut. From the time my sister and I were little girls, our mom um, instilled in us the value of skincare. I always feel her with me in the shooting ritual. Skincare. If you're doing it right, it's claiming a moment of tenderness in an abrasive word. You remove the mask, your brave face, your funny face, your enforcer face, your hard candy coating, and see yourself cleansed and replenished. And it's like, okay, I'm good. You feel everything so kindling when you just wash your face like a newborn feels that first ring of fresh air. Kim Kardashian and I were making frittata and French toast, coated with frosted flakes for breakfast one morning, and she said, I don't know anyone who parties as hard as you do and looks as good as you do. Skincare, seriously. If you take nothing else from our story, receive this. Skincare is sacred. Most women who did coke back in the 90s looked beat up by the mid-aughts. That was a strong determinant for me. I won't say I never tried it, but I wasn't about to sacrifice my complexion for it. Same with cigarettes. You may as well hit yourself in the face with a shower. These days my only bad habit is spray tanning. My sister Nikki can't stand it, but I'm kind of addicted. Otherwise, Carter and I are big on wellness and skincare. We always say forever is not long enough. Taking care of ourselves is something we do for each other out of love. We want our good lives to last. After I put the frittata in the oven and set a cute little penguin timer, Kim said, now it's the 12 minutes when we clean. Clean as you go is the rule. Another rule is skincare. Sunscreen is my 11th commandment. You may be wondering, what does all this have to do with ADHD? Nothing, also everything, and anything all at once. ADHD is exhausting and exhilarating, and it's how God made me, so he must be right. Carson doesn't fully grasp what it means to be ADHD, but he's the first and only man in my life who made an effort to understand. Early in our relationship, he spent a lot of time and energy researching ADHD, which is the most authentically loving thing any man has ever done for me. Most people drum their fingers and let me know how insanely frustrating it is to be sucked into the endless spin circle of my life. Carter rolls with it. Where most people see a dumpster fire, Carter sees Burning Man. He gets frustrated for sure, but he's not trying to deprogram me. Carter is a venue capitalist. I'm 13, 30, 13. The company he founded with his brother Cordy is known for engaging with unicorns, startups valued at more than $1 billion, like Rotary Ring and Daisy Harvest. Carter is a unicorn whisperer, sentimental and forward-thinking, and he likes to be boss. But he has a light touch. If we're in an 11:11 media board meeting talking about a contract, can I go on a tangent about the better tool for impromptu uh, IG videos and how that could be styled, manufactured, and marketed in a really fun, accessible way, and I could promote them via crossing promotion content. And what if the knob was like a little otter or sloth or kangaroo? Carter leans to whisper in my ear, baby. Not in a mean way, just to bring me back to Santa. A while back, I was featured in the Disruptors, a documentary about extraordinary people with ADHD, including will.i.am, Michaels, Justin Timberlake, the founders of JetBlue and IKEA, Steve Madden, Simon Biles, Adam Levine, Terry Bradshaw, astronaut Scott Kelly, Channing Tatum, the list goes on and on. The disruptors also features Dr. Hollowell and other psychologists and neurologists who've advanced the science of ADHD. The message of the film really flies in the face of the misconceptions and stigma. Structure and function of ADHD brain are a throwback to a time when you had to be a badass to survive, find food, and procreate. Visual cue: Raquel Welch as the iconic cavewoman queen in 1 million years BC, the frontal lobe, home of impulse control, concentration, and inhibition, is small because the primitive badass had to react on instinct without fear. Neutral perhaps don't connect or mature at the same rate. Neural pathways don't connect or mature at the same rate because it was more important for the primitive badass queen to be better at picking berries and killing saber-toothed tigers than she was at reading novels. Dopamine and noradrenaline powerful chemicals that regulate sleep and facilitate communication between brain cells were on a slow drip because she had to wake up at the snap of a twig. Like 5% of children and 2.5% of adults, I'm a primitive badass in a world of contemporary thinkers, a world that wants obedience and conformity, even if I wanted to be the orderly people our loved ones want us to be. We don't have it in us. We must embrace who we are, or die trying to be someone else. The benefits of ADHD include creativity, intuition, resilience, and the ability to brainstorm. I'm good at damage control because I'm constantly losing things, showing up late, and pissing people off. I'm good at multitasking because I'm not hardwired to concentrate on one thing for a big block of time. Because my attention span is limited, I don't see time as linear. The ADHD brain processes past, present, and future as a spirograph of interconnected events, which gives me a certain speedy sense about fashion, trends, and technology. It's easy to follow my bliss because my bliss is whatever interests me at any given moment. My brain chemistry craves sensory inputs: sounds, images, puzzles, art, motion, experiences, everything that triggers adrenaline or endorphins. That's all as necessary as oxygen for the ADHD brain. I don't just love fun, I need fun. Fun is my jet fuel. The primary disadvantage of ADHD is that people around you are often inconvenienced, weirded out, or hurt by your behavior. So you're constantly getting judged and punished, which makes you feel like shit. Suicidal ideation is higher in people with ADHD. Self-loathing and self-medication are endemic. If the rest of the world says you're obnoxious or stupid or just not braining right, loving yourself is an act of rebellion, which is beautiful but exhausting, especially when you're a little kid. That needy little kid always inside you, you're alive because an epic quest for love, or whatever feels like love in the moment. I was never medicated as a kid, never tested for ADHD as far as I know. Even if you have the most wonderful, loving parents in the world, and I do, diagnosis doesn't always happen early, especially for girls who are good at hiding the symptoms. Treatment of ADHD has traditionally focused on squashing undesirable behavior. In the 1980s, people had just started talking about being hyper or being on the spectrum. No one ever said, relax, little girl, or more different kind of intelligence. Instead, people told me I was dumb, bratty, careless, ungrateful, or not applying myself. And none of that was true. I had to be creative and work hard to fit in. But I'm naturally creative and hardworking, so I was in it every day, grinning away, trying to fit in, until I grew strong enough to say, Fact-fitting, which is what I intend to teach my children from the beginning, no matter what their neurodevelopmental profile happens to be. As an adult, I've been medication fluid. When I was in my early 20s, the doctor explained what was wrong with me and put me on Adderall. That was a love-hate relationship that went on for about 20 years. Me and Adderall, until Carter and I met with Dr. Howell. Dr. Howell said, "Been trying to explain to people since 1981 that this condition, if you use it properly, is nascent compared uh, composed of qualities you can't buy and can't teach. It's stigma that holds us back. Stigma plus ignorance, a lethal combination." I felt that lightning bolt you feel when someone speaks a hard truth you always know but never heard anyone say out loud. "Our kryptonite is boredom," said Dr. Howler. "If stimulation doesn't occur, we create it. We'll self-medicate with adrenaline. ADHD can be a wellspring of creative energy, but creative energy's evil twin is a troublemaking compulsion. Want some adrenaline? Do everything the hard way. Get into train wreck relationships. There are a million ways to screw yourself over for the sake of adrenaline. My imagination is infinite, but it takes me to dark places as easily as it takes me towards light. Dr. Harwell calls it the demon, that shake that slithers into everything, telling you that if it's bad, you deserve it, and if it's good, it won't last. Of course, the demon is a liar, but try telling that to my brain when it's craving a big bucket of deep fried anxiety. Your greatest asset is your worst enemy, said Dr. Hollowell. And my brain said, fuck. Tell me, Paris, how's your self-esteem? I'm good at pretending, I said. He said that's common among people who live with ADHD. Not people who suffer from ADHD, not people afflicted with ADHD, people who live with ADHD. Some of us have discovered that ADHD is our superpower. I wish the A stood for S, kicking. I wish the D stood for dope and drive. I wish the H suggested hell yes. I'm not dragging or complaining about it. Just telling you, this is what my brain. It has a lot to do with how this whole book thing is going to play out because I love run-on sentences and dashes and sentence fragments. I'm probably going to jump around a lot while I tell the story. The spirograph of time, it's all connected. I've avoided talking about some of these issues for decades. I'm an issue avoiding machine. I learned from the best, my parents. Nikki says mom and dad are the king and queen of sweeping things under the rug. There's hierarchy and there's the rules in my family. There's hierarchy, and these are the rules in my family. If you don't talk about a thing, it's not a problem. If you hide how deeply something hurts you, it didn't happen. If you pretend not to notice how deeply you hurt someone else, you don't have to feel bad about it. Of course, that's bullshit, and what makes it even crazier, it's not good business. I come from a family of brilliant business people. How can you be so bad at emotional economics, relationship, professional or personal, and traditional? Transactional. Give and take, for better or worse. You invest hoping for good return, but there's always risk. I love my mom, and I know she loves me. Still, we've put each other through hell and can't squeeze out more than a few words on certain topics. It's going to be hard for her to read this book. I won't be surprised if she puts it on a shelf for a while or forever, and that's okay. I'm trying to take ownership of some intense personal things I've never been able to talk about. Things I've said and done, things that have been said and done to me, had a hard time trusting and don't easily share my private thoughts. I'm super protective of my family and my brand. The businesswoman who grew out of the party girl and the party girl who still lives inside the businesswoman. So it scares me to think about what a lot of people will say, but it's time. There are so many young women who need to hear this story. I don't want them to learn from my mistakes. I want them to stop hating themselves for mistakes of their own. I want them to laugh and see that they do have a voice and their own brand of intelligence and girl, fuck fitting in. Part 1. Never regret anything because at one time it was exactly what you wanted. Marilyn. People told me it was stupid to go skydiving the morning after my 21st birthday party in Las Vegas. But back then I didn't care, and now I know they were wrong. If you want to go skydiving the morning after a level 9 rager, go for it. 21st birthday is prime real estate for stupid and a lot of stupid things you do in your 20s lay the foundation for wisdom later on. As you wise up, you realize that all the stupid things that you didn't do, those are the regrets. My 20s were like, damn girl, leave no stupid behind, love the wrong man, hate the wrong woman, wear the phone Dutch. I have no regrets. Okay, I have a few regrets. Skydiving is not one of them. When I decided to do it, I was thinking it would be perfect cherry on top of a star-studded multi-city balls-out birthday celebration that was lit AF, possibly the greatest 21st birthday celebration since Marie Antoinette. And I can say this with authority because partying is an area experience for me, of expertise for me, a marketable skill developed over a lifetime of dedicated practice. A brief history of my partying legacy. Details to be developed at a greater length later in this book. The parties I went to, I was tiny with mostly family gatherings and were most the parties I went to when I was tiny were mostly family gatherings in Readalong, the home of my dad's parents, Baron and Martin Hilton, whom I call Papa and Mommy. You may have seen this house on my docuseries Paris in Love. It's a Georgian-style mansion where I got married in 2021, designed by legendary architect Paul R. Williams, who also created homes for Frank Sinatra, Lucille Ball, Barbara Stanwyck, and other Hollywood immortals. The house was built for J. Paley, one of the founders of CBS, in 1935. At the time, Papa was 8, living in a hotel with his big brother Nicky, baby brother Eric, and my grandfather Conrad Hillen. My great-grandmother had left them, according to family mythology, because she didn't like the hard-working hotel life and gave up on Conrad ever having real money. Mentality inserting by Felicia. Conrad was later briefly married to the Hungarian socialite Zsa Gabor, who was broke but beautiful and happy to go out dancing every night. Zsa had a sparkling personality and developed an early version of the business model we now call influencing, getting paid to wear clothes, appear at parties, and talk up beauty products so the brand names would appear in the Hollywood press. The marriage ended bitterly, and Conrad decided it was better to raise the boys himself. He brought them up with old-school Christian values, making them work as bellhops and teaching them that work and family are jealous gods who will always be at war, fighting for a man's time and complete devotion. Papa married Nana after World War II. and they had 8 kids. That is number 6. And he was little, they moved into J. Bailey House and renamed it Brooklyn. This all sounds like ancient history, but to understand my story, you need to know the Hilton of it all. People who knew Conrad Hilton tell me I'm just like him, and I take them mostly as a compliment. Mostly. He died 2 years before I was born, and despite that, most people think he left most of his fortune to charity. Papa worked, my parents worked, I'm a working beast. In 2022, I signed a massive deal to be the face of Hilton Hotels in and campaigns and cross promotions on my social media, and I love working with them. But I think that's the biggest money I'll ever get for being a Hilton. But I'm a Hilton, and that's huge. Just my acknowledging how blessed and lucky I am. Okay, my family has been called American royalty. I'm not downplaying the extraordinary privilege or the access it gave me, experiences, travel opportunities. I'm grateful for all of it. The Baron Hilton family is huge, and we flock together loving each other and minding each other's business, even though we don't see each other as much since Nana died. When we were little, Nicky and I ventured around Brooklyn with our million cousins, climbing fences and playing kickball on the lush green lawn. Parties at Brooklyn were like full of carnival lands with pony rides, petting zoos, bouncy castle tennis tournaments, and Marco Polo death matches in the gigantic pool, which featured an elaborate mosaic imported in Italian tile uh, depicting the sign of the zodiac. I'm an Aquarius, so I thought I should be the one that looked kind of like a mermaid, but that turned out to be a Virgo. Aquarius was a beefy-looking dude with a jug of water on his shoulder. I probably cried when I found that out. Actually, probably cried for 3 seconds and then decided I was the mermaid, no matter what the stars or some old Italian tile people said. My parents, Rick and Katie Hilton, spent the '70s partying with Andy Warhol and the hippest possible crowds from Studio City to Studio 54. My dad is in real estate and finance, the co-founder of Hill and Highland, a massive firm specializing in high-level corporate and residential real estate. My parents did a lot of entertaining related to his business, and when mom has a party, she plans it down to the last roll pedal. All the little things that make her guests feel like they're part of something special, everything's perfect, including the hostess. My mom styles herself for her surrounding with impeccable taste. She walks into a party and walks that room like a royal, savvy, kind and beautiful. Like a royal, savvy, kind and beautiful. People love her because she genuinely cares about people. Listen to them and let them feel savvy, kind and beautiful too. True sophistication is the ability to fit in anywhere because you have a broad understanding of and respect for all kinds of people. Mom is sophisticated like that. She's funny, smart and stylish. But savvy is her real superpower. I had no clue how much silly energy she had bottled up inside her until she signed on to do the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in 2021. It was like somebody popped a cork on a bottle of pink champagne. When Nick and I were little before the boys came along, Mom schooled us on party manners, which fork to use, how to place our feet when we stood for red carpet photos. We understand that our family name carried weight and drew attention. We had a certain place in society which came with certain expectations. Little girls, Nick and I, attended super chic social functions, fundraising events, holiday galas, and fancy receptions at the Waldorf or the Meet, where my parents mixed with lawyers, agents, politicos, and all the kinds of extraordinary people who did big things. One of my earliest memories is sitting in an Andy Warhol lab. Mm, mhm. I remember sitting on Andy Warhol lap, drawing pictures at an after party at the Warhol Waldorf Astoria. He loved me and always told my mom, this kind of this kid is going to be a huge star. I love that my parents included us in all that. You might think fancy business and social events would be boring for a little kid, but I lived for these parties. I learned to appreciate the architecture of a good ball gown. I was exposed to great music, jazz combos, string quartets, and private performances by famous artists. I sat like a butterfly on a fence. We're starting an adult conversation about corporate manners, real estate deals, fortunes being made and lost, ill-advised love affairs, and messy divorces. It was all about love and money. Two things that fascinated me because everyone seemed to be under the spell of one or the other. The first time I experienced going to a club environment, I was 12. Nick and I were friends with and Pia's adored daughter Katie, and Pia was friends with our mom, so we got to go with Pia to a New Kids on the Block concert in LA because Pia was a celebrity. We got to go backstage and we're like dying. We're going to bar one for the after party. The boys told Pia, "You should come." Mickey and Katie and I were like, "Have to go, please, please." We were all totally obsessed with New Kids. Pia was cool, so we went over the bar one, and the bouncers let her right in because celebrity. The atmosphere inside bar one blew my tiny mind. I had an immediate um, visceral response like yes, because lights, music, laughter, fashion, music, joy, lights, white teeth, diamond music, plus the flashy sensory input my ADHD brain constantly craved. I didn't know I was feeling an actual shift in my body chemistry, but I knew I was feeling something real, and I loved it. Every part of me came alive, body, brain, skin, spirit, and it felt awesome. Unfortunately, just as I was talking all this in, we bumped into my mom's sister, Aunt Kyle, was like, WTF? She dragged me aside for a brief, uh, hasty conversation and then took us home. But I knew I had to go back. In my early teens, I took advantage of every sneak out opportunity I could create. I became one of those desperately seeking Susan Club kids who ruled at nighttime world in early 90s. Folk dance drag queens and Harajuku girls took me under their wings and watched out for me, which is how I learned the key elements of partying like a rock star. Stay hydrated, stay pretty. Gypsy can be cute, but drunk is gross. Wear boots like good sturdy platform boots and comfortable clothes so you can dance all night and easily climb in and or out of windows and other fancies as needed. I didn't drink or do drugs back then. When I was a kid, fun was the only party drug I needed. I wasn't there to get wasted. I was there to dance. Alcohol and drugs are for escaping reality, and I want all the reality I could get. The escape drink, mm, the escape drinking didn't happen until later. One night after the Pier Club adventure, I tried to smuggle Nikki, our cousin Farah, and our friend Khloe Kardashian into bar one. Chloe and Farah were little middle school girls who had this glowy up with full makeup, a long red wig, and a fluffy black hat. I told her if anyone asks, your name is Betsy Johnson. I put Farah on top of somebody's shoulders with a big trench coat. We put so much effort into our disguises we were shocked when we didn't get past the velvet rope. I guess you need to be with someone famous, I said. I didn't like how it felt to be rejected in front of everyone. I wasn't going to let it happen again. When I was 16, I hooked up fake IDs for Nick and me. We weren't fooling anyone, but we were getting a little bit famous, so we had no trouble getting in bar one. No Bootsy Bellows, Roxbury, now Pink Taco, and other hotspots. Our partying opportunities between the ages of 16 and 18 were limited because I was locked up in a series of culture, wilderness, boot camps, and emotional growth boarding schools. When I escaped for a few last weeks of freedom, I played it safe with small beach parties and living room gatherings where kids were just chilling and talking until I made everyone get up and dance, especially kids who were too shy or felt self-conscious about their bodies. They're the ones who need dancing most. This is still the rule at every gig I DJ in my virtual world in real life. When you party with Paris, you dance. At 18, I signed with a modeling agency, and what do you think people want to do after a runway show? Party with models. And since they think, no duh, but move past the easy assumption that men are pigs and models are dumb. That's not fair or true or useful. Most men are basically decent, I think, and successful models travel all over the world. Traveling the world is the best education there is. Most models are in their teens and twenties, and sometimes they lack maturity shows, but they're growing. Give them a minute. Networking, knowing how to work a party, is a critical aspect of growing a business. In my twenties, I was so good at both partying and business. People started paying me to come to their parties. I didn't invent getting paid to party, but I reinvented it. Proud to be called the OG influencer. Girls need to understand the value they bring to the party. It's a lot more than standing around looking pretty. Mannequins can do that. An accomplished party girl is a facilitator, a negotiator, a diplomat. She's a speaker and the match. She's a sparkler and the match. Know your work, girls. You're not lucky to be at the party. The party is lucky to have you. Apply as needed to relationships, jobs, and family. Like my wedding in 2021, my 21st birthday celebration in 2002 spanned multiple days and time zones. I've already been partying in clubs for years, but I was sick of bullshitting bouncers, passing out fake IDs as if they didn't know. It made pretenders of us all, and that seems like such a waste of energy. I'm excited to be 21 and leave all that behind. This is my first time to go out all nice and legal, so I went big, playing parties all over the world and getting sponsors to pay for it all. My coming of age, birthday bash, and dancing, drinking, hobnobbing multiverse that left people paralyzed with exhaustion. Obviously, I coordinated an amazing wardrobe. This was a multiple look event with a whole lineup of designers for design forward dresses, platform heels, accessories, and diamond tiaras. This was the genesis of my iconic silver chainmail dress by Julian MacDonald, a dress Kendall Jenner cloned from her own 25th birthday party in 2016. That's how timeless this garment is. I wore mine again. Hell yes, I kept it. On my last night in Marvel, Spain, when I was DJing there in 2017. Julian made me the chainmail dress to wear to my London party. At the end of London Fashion Week, where I walked in his show, I was the bride, and the bride's dress was amazing. For the first time I laid eyes on that iconic chainmail birthday dress, I was so blown away. This dress is everything, I said. This dress is going to end up in a museum someday. The weight and construction and are exquisitely engineered, incorporating thousands of Swarovski crystals. It moves like a liquid slinky. The neckline is cut clear down to Argentina, so double-sided tape is needed to prevent nip slip. That usually works pretty well until you work up a sweat on the dance floor, but dancing in that dress is better than a milk bath. I fell on my face when I was running to hug somebody, so I thought I should get out of the 6-inch heels. I think that's when I changed into floody blue mermaid dress, backless but well built. At Geo Lounge in LA, I wore a sheer pink mini stud with a trillion hand sewn diamond beads. Nothing made me feel the way I felt dancing my ass off the night in the Stork Lounge in London, in that silver Julie MacDonald dress. I want every girl to feel that way on her 23rd birthday, free, happy, beautiful, and loved. Invincible. Either it Memoir, turquoise mermaid dress covered in Swarovski crystals to wear Studio 54 in New York. Les Cirque put out this extreme garment buffet and made me a gorgeous 21-tile birthday cake. After that there was a party in Paris, France, because Paris, and then Tokyo, where I sponsored a massive party for thousands of friends because I could never leave my little pilsners behind. Then I went back to LA and did a rolling bash that moved from LAX to my house on Kings Road with friends and family I'd known and loved all my life. My house on Kings Road was built high with presents, friends, and fans all over the world. Sent roses, rings, bracelets, stuffed animals, so many sweet, thoughtful gifts. I was so touched by the loving words written in cards, letters, and emails. I wrote thank you notes until my arm was really ready to fall off. Curating a party crowd is a skill. Curating a party crowd is a skill. Andy Warhol was the undisputed mastermind of party curation. Prince inherited the title from him and took it to the next level with the secret sauce music. That's what stays with me from all those parties. The music and the people. My sister and my cousin. Lots of childhood friends like Nicole Richie, the hot matriarchs, Mom Kris Jenner, Faye, and Resnick, Aunt Kyle, and Aunt Kim. Random legends like P. Diddy and the restaurateur Cyril Massioni. All the family and friends who've been constantly in my life, but also a lot of cool people who came and went because some friends just have their season, and that's okay. It's fascinating. So many people danced to my hand-picked playlist. Everybody danced. This was before my professional DJ days, but I always had an instinct for the ebb and flow. Club music of the early aughts were made for raging. Chemical Brothers Star Guitar, uh, Depeche Mode Free Love, DJ Disciple Caught Up featuring Mia Cox, Funky Green Dogs You Got Me Burning Up. I also had to have my soul song Ultra Nate free. At the Bellagio in Las Vegas, DJ AM played it, so I knew the music would be on point. I didn't want that night to be over. For most of my adult life, I slept without my dogs, and a lot of times, even when I had them with me, nightmares through my brain, queued through my brain, and tore up my stomach. So I was terrified to fall asleep. Put it off as long as I could, partying on, dancing, drinking champagne, dancing, dancing, drinking, laughing, dancing until it was morning, and my body was like, "Bitch, stop, it's over." And the next thing I knew, my phone was vibrating in my armpit. Someone was pounding on my hotel room door. Paris, Paris, wake up, we have to get to the airstrip. I opened my eyes, the room reeled like a disco ball. What? Why? Where are we going? And then I remembered that I had told everyone I was going skydiving. No, oh, this was going to suck, but I didn't want to embarrass myself by backing out. I pulled out the tracksuit. Even after I uh, cocked a bottle of water, my mouth felt like a sandbox. The water made me feel kind of ill, like I was about to throw up, but there was nothing else in my stomach, maybe a little cake. I've been so busy dancing, I never really made it over the bullet. Usually champagne is good hangover insurance, but I also had some shots or martinis or whatever people drink for their 25th birthday. My right eyeball was in supernova. My hair follicles were screaming. On the way to a tiny airstrip outside Las Vegas, I kept telling myself, don't be lame, don't be lame, don't be lame. I knew that if I vomited or cried or backed out, some of the people I was hanging out with would not keep that to themselves. Someone would be taking pictures and selling them. Some of these people were trusted friends, but else I didn't know that well or trust at all, or and the hangover had sapped my energy to differentiate. So I defaulted to my trust no one mode and tried to pretend I was super excited. Really tired, I said. I'm just gonna, yeah. I covered my head in my jacket and trembled like a little wet dog. Got the private airstrip in the white day nothing, dry nothing, somewhere outside of the city. I was so dehydrated and drunk out I couldn't even comprehend all this information the guy was giving me. Something blah blah blah, tandem instructor blah blah, jumping 13,000 feet blah blah, free falling for the first mile on the way down. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? And then they stuck the whole apparatus on me and strapped the whole apparatus on me and shit got real. I was 100% sober and I was scared. Went up in this tiny Rattlecrab airplane. Everyone else was laughing and talking, yelling because the engine was so loud. The happy yippy voice felt like scissors in my ears. I just sat there quiet. I always get quiet when I'm scared, like a little rabbit going purely on instinct, huddled in a silent ball, ready to take evasive maneuvers. Humbling to be reminded that no matter how big your life is, you're still a speck of dust that can be swept off there in half a second. The goggles were tied on my face. That would have a mark was positive. Oh, I was sitting on the level of the guy, a stranger whose body was literally strapped on the body to my body. Our bodies spooned together, so that was weird. My life was in the hands of this man, and the whole thing was so stupidly terrifying. I wanted to hurl. Then they opened the door, a blast of freezing cold air roared in. Now, above this door is the same sign you see above every door of every airplane. Red letters, all caps. This door must remain closed. There's a reason. When that door opens, the world ends. Your head gets sucked inside out. Your heart shivers like a foreign mushroom. This door must remain closed. Now this door is open. I'm on this bench behind some other people, and every time someone jumps, everyone else scoots forward. Someone jumps, we all scoot forward. Jump, scoot, jump, scoot. My spoonmate keeps pushing me closer to that door, yelling, doing great. Paris, this is gonna be awesome. Paris, almost there, Paris. Not doing great. Then we are at the door. I feel the edge under my feet. The wind is so fast and loud. It whips away the sound of my screaming like pulling a loose thread. On three, says the guy. But if he ever said three, I didn't hear it. I was like one, and then nothing, everything, air, light, unbearable brightness, a blessed rush of adrenaline. I expected to feel I was falling, like the ground was flying up at my face. It's not like that. You start out at 13,000 feet, literally miles above the earth. So even though you're falling at 1,020 miles per hour, the space around you is so vast. The distance so great your perspective is that of a slow moving cloud. There was nothing to hang on to, nothing to let go. I opened my arms and felt unpol- unpolluted joy, freedom, ecstasy, everything you want, but will never get from drug or money or even love. All the constant cravings of my adrenaline junkie brain. Conrad Hilton was a religious man. He wrote a lot about God, feared God, wanted to know God, craved God. He should have gone skydiving. The tandem instructor released the chute, now scuff up in a slow, quiet ride, suspended above the desert like a diamond on a delicate silver chain. I stopped thinking, stopped trying, stopped wondering. The sky was crystal blue perfection. The distant mountains were wrinkled yellow, and ochre iced with midwinter snow. The wide open desert gave up 1,000 shades of grey, sliced with highways dotted with boxy little structures, the insignificance of anyone who'd ever loved or hurt me, the insignificance of myself. There was no audience to play for, only profound peace, state of grace. We descended, riding the wind, borne on soaring updrafts. Gratitude, elation, triumph. I'm here, I survived, I'm not afraid, I love my life. Marilyn Monroe said, "Fear is stupid, so is regret." In general, I found this to be true. Many times throughout my life, the most terrifying moments have led to the most fulfilling. Free falling over the Nevada desert is just one example. I want to tell you about a few others, even though I know not everyone's going to like what I have to say. We all have that jump door inside us, and for a long time I marked mine with the red letters, all caps. This door must remain closed. Brace yourself, bitches. We're about to pry it open. End of chapter 1.